Welcome everybody back to the Marvel SNAPCAST podcast. I'm your host, Ken, aka the Super Tech Cod, that crazy gentleman that has every variant in the game.
Every variant?
Every variant, not 90%, not
Oh, wow.
not 99%, 100% of the variants in the game. And of course,
Wow.
I'm here with our wonderful co-host, the one and only.
I didn't know that.
It's Guess Gaming.
It's nice to
Hi.
Yes, Mr. Second Dinner Employee of the Month. And of course,
Month, year,
the
week,
one and only,
something like that. Yeah.
the one and only
Changes.
KM Best in the building. KM, welcome back, buddy. By popular demand, everybody wants you back. And of course, we got a lot to talk about today. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I mean, I don't know what you guys have scheduled because I'm not very professional, so you don't even bother to send me what you plan on talking about. I know it's the OTA and I know it's Golden Gauntlet, but I don't know the order. And I got to tell you, I'm a little confused. OTA just dropped. I thought it was a fun little we're going to shake up the metagame and see if all of the, more fundamentally, I almost wonder if presenting the OTA as a joke was a mistake in the sense that it is actually a serious thing where it's like what they're doing is good. They are questioning their own assumptions because it's very easy for a dev team to just be like, our players are whiners. They just complain about the stuff that beats them. We have the data. It's not even that good. They're literally just whining because someone touched them. Let's ignore them because they're bad, right? And they're doing the opposite of that by saying, let's question our assumptions. Let's see if these release valves are actually necessary to police the metagame. And they sort of presented it like a ha-ha funny joke, but I almost think it would have gone over better if they just leveled with people and were like, look, this is something we want to actually investigate. We're going to see what the hell happens here if we weaken all these cards. And what ended up happening was just a bunch of people were like, I don't get the joke and I am furious about it. I am so mad that I didn't get this joke. To be fair, if you didn't go on Twitter, if you're not plugged in and all you saw is the notification in the app, I think it's valid to be mad. I think it's valid to be like, what the hell are they thinking? Right? Because the notification in the app didn't convey any of this stuff. And that's a failure. Yeah. But I think what they're doing is kind of a cool idea. I think it's worth experimenting with. It's worth at least finding out if you can weaken these cards and have the metagame not get stupid. And it's just I don't know. People are reacting like it's the end of the world because I don't think it was communicated properly, I guess.
I think people are very concerned about their tech cards. And, those players who like to play with the tech slop soup right now are very upset because those cards are just broken. Yeah, I know you're one of them, of course, but I'm just saying.
Right, but I'm fine.
I know you are because you get it. It, right? People don't get it. They're like, what happened to my favorite thing, Not knowing that this could be, all this could be reverted in 2 weeks' time. I mean, it says at the top of the list that I'm going to show right here, balance experiment, right? Those words right there should tell you this is an experiment, it's something that they're trying. And of course, all these wonderful binary numbers, for those who don't know what that is, these are binary codes. So we are in a technology season in Snap. We have all these wonderful tech cards. So all this should give you something to say, hey, wait a minute, ack, buzz, all this is kind of funny. But no, I think people see it as a very serious thing and they're upset about it. And we're here to talk about it and, make you guys understand that this is something to be more happy about, something to be more,
to be clear,
to see what it's all about. Go ahead.
That's not what I'm here to do. Unlike It's Guest Gaming, I am not on the payroll of Second Dinner. Okay,
this is true. This is true. But, but to be fair and equal on all of this as well, did you see the team answers?
No.
Yeah,
I did not.
So it was outright said. I'll tell Ken because at least Ken's plugged in trying to get to the number 2 spot. It was outright said by Glenn that this was an idea that was just a pitch on how we could make the season memorable in a unique way, and it felt like an appropriate gimmick for the theme. It's an imbalance patch. This is the way people were reacting was this is the best or this is the worst and almost nothing in between. It was very polarizing. I get the joke or I don't get the joke, and what did you do to all of my tech cards? Now it's just all the shit hit the fan. And I don't know, maybe it's just that we as gamers suck at reading and we have that reputation. And even other creators who will remain nameless, when they read the patch notes, they went, "Why did you do this? Did you read the last paragraph? Oh, I get it."
Not.
Like, oh my God. Like, it's amazing how many people just didn't catch on to, wait a minute, bzz, ack. Was it the MODOK season that we also had the bzz, like, in the patch notes?
I think you're being a little harsh, because like, as much as I would like to say like, yeah, these people aren't getting a joke, it also wasn't conveyed in any format other than the patch notes and on Twitter, right? Like if you are on Discord, if you are on Twitter, if you are seeing it in that format, that's one thing. But I think most people see the patch notes from the app, and they open the app and it just shows the numbers and the changes. And if you don't have the context, really and like, I like, honest to God, if they are to learn anything from this, it's that they should have put like a big ol' hacked notification on the in-app notification. Like like that is probably how most people see stuff, right? And so I think if there is a lesson to learn from this, it's not don't make jokes, but it's like make sure your tone is consistent across it, right? And they did that in a lot of spaces, and then not in probably the most important one.
That's completely fair. You're right.
Like, right. Yes, I do think that, like, you know, haha, they're not getting the joke, Lamau. But also, they probably should have conveyed that one. Feels like a little bit of a layup.
A little differently. Agreed. But again, that's why I'm here, at least, to kind of let you guys know this is all a joke, guys. And again, this might not stay. I mean, the key word there is might, because based on the time period that they test this out for to see how these cards actually work out or not, these cards might remain that way, or they might make some tweaks to it. But either way, let's go through this wonderful OD. You think they revert everything back? You think so?
They basically said so in the team answers, which I actually think is bad. I think they should. Okay. Like they said basically, we don't actively intend any of these to be permanent. So what I read on that is if something really blows them out of the water, like if they're really surprised by how these changes were taken, like maybe it turns out Shang-Chi still has a 30% play rate or whatever, then it might stay. But like they'd have to get really surprised, I think, for this stuff to stick.
Okay. All right,
so then with each of these, let's do this for the three of us. As we go through each one of them, also say, do you think it's going to stick? Do they revert it? Or do they change it?
All right.
I already did this on my YouTube video, youtube.com/KMBestinASnap. Check it out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Sorry, buddy.
No, when does your video come out? Because we
it already came out.
Mornings. Oh, okay.
It already came out. It was in my patch video. That's like that was like the whole framing.
Okay. Got it.
It's also why my YouTube comments are more.
So
my YouTube comments are like very sane because I framed my video around the context of like the first minute. I'm like, guys, they're doing a bit. Some of these are going to stick around. Some of them aren't. Which are the ones that you think are likely to stay, right? And so I framed it around that, so there was no one who didn't get the context.
A joke.
And so my YouTube comments are like they're more sane than my Discord right now. Usually it kind of goes the other way.
Well, that's fair. If you don't mind repeating yourself, we'll try to do it here as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. All right, so kick things off with Shang-Chi, which was a 4/3 on reveal, destroy all enemy cards here that has 10 power or more. And now it's a 4/2 on reveal, destroy an enemy card here that has 10 power or more. So basically the difference is if that lane is full of 10 power cards or more, it normally destroys all of them, but now it will destroy one random one.
Uh-oh.
How do you guys, I feel this is actually the one that will stick around. I think they will keep this one.
You pronounced it correctly, and then you were like, hold on, and pronounced it incorrectly.
I know. I think we did.
No, because so many people will mess up the pronunciations in both ways.
Exactly. We have to act like we're hacked today. Come on. Come on, go with me.
Shang-Chi.
I don't want to say it incorrectly. Don't get me in trouble out here, okay?
I'm really bad about it. I get it. I feel like it's performative when I do it, right? I feel performative when I go out of my way to do that pronunciation, but I have tried to integrate it into my bank.
Have you heard Ken try to say kiln?
It's Kylan.
Oh my God.
It's Kylan to me. All right. I think this one sticks around 100%. They're either going to change his power, but I think for sure this is something that everybody's been asking for the longest. I think it's fair to keep it that way. Only destroying one enemy card there that has 10 power more, I think is more than fair. So for me, I think this sticks around. How about you, KM? How do you feel about this change? And what do you think, staying or not?
I'll tell you what I like about it is that a lot of the cool moments, if there are any, that Shang-Chi creates are when you reinforce a lane to beat your opponent's Shang-Chi. And that kind of thing where it's like, they're going to Shang my big guy here, but I'm going to reinforce this, so it's going to all work out for me. I think that's really cool, and this enables you to do that with the big guy. And I think that's nice. I think largely this adds texture to the card and how it's played with and against. I strongly suspect 4-2 is not a stat line that will stick around. I think that is a little bit much. But I could see this sticking around at 4-4 and still being able to fill Shang-Chi's role. The issue is more just like, I think they did a lot of stuff in this patch that's just like, we're really swinging, right? They could have just changed his text, but they also 4-2'd him. You look at Shadow King, I don't know what the hell's going on there. Red Guardian, I don't know what the hell's going on there. Swing a little bit hard, and I get it. That's the point of this patch, but I don't think this one's going to stick around, if only because they swung so hard. They're taking at least part of this back.
Fair enough. All right, Guess, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm on the same boat of they take parts and pieces of the two versions and they put them back together, because 4-2, there's no way it sticks, because even with it being a net total of 12, it still doesn't feel right. It's hard to explain. Like, it's just something you feel guilty about playing any other turn but 6. And one of the nice things about 4-3 old Shang-Chi is that flexibility to feel comfortable of playing it on 5 if you truly need to. I would feel even worse playing this on turn 5 as a single lane, single target item with only 2 power on it. I think it takes half and half. It takes the 4-3, puts it back on it, but keeps the destroy an enemy card here that has 10 or more power. Okay, maybe they do something in the lane of like the highest power card here, minimum 10 power, something along those lines. I could see as like justification for the balance of single card, but I think 4-3 single card is completely fine. I don't think they leave it at 4-2. I'm 100% with KM on that one as well.
Yeah, I think I agree with both of you guys, and I believe they should make him higher than a 4-3. 4-4 sounds good, even 4-5 at that point. But I think 4-4 is a fair number to keep him at.
4-5's pushing it, man.
Yeah, 4-5's too.
Yeah, like 4-5 is like
territory.
Because I think part of what makes Shang-Chi so ubiquitous is that he is in
Wait, no. We have a simple audience, good sir. We don't use big words like ubiquitous here. That's your channel.
Yes. No, he's just big words. Let him rock out. Please continue.
That's 10 letters. Okay, we'll do a 6-letter word. What makes Shang-Chi so common is that he is able to be too many letters in this, I'm sorry, generically applicable.
God damn.
What I mean by that is a lot of decks have one card that's going to get to more than 10 plus power, because that's how you play the game Marvel Snap. And a lot of the time, those decks will not put those cards in the same lane, meaning that if you 4-5 this guy, I feel like probably 75% of his use cases, you've just buffed him.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's a good point. Nope, you're absolutely right. So 4-4, 4-3. 4-3, 4-4 is perfect. All right, on to the next card here. We have the Killmonger. Now, Killmonger, of course, was a 3-3, still kept the same stats. On reveal, destroy all 1-cost cards everywhere. Doesn't matter what side, doesn't matter what lane, but now he only destroys all 1-cost cards in that one lane, on both sides, but just in that one lane. So for me, yes, this is a cool change. It gives Zoo and everybody else a chance to not worry about Kyera as much, and now Killmonger becomes a stronger Elektra. I think this one reverts back right away. This does not stay at all, but it is fun to test this out during this awesome time. So, KM, how do you feel about Killmonger, and is he going to stay or change?
When you say stronger Elektra, do you mean weaker Elektra?
Thank you. That's what I'm sitting here like.
What do you guys? Okay, please listen. All right, so with Elektra, she only kills one cost card.
Yeah, but she costs 1.
Yeah.
Yes, but okay. So I guess
but she costs 1, dude.
Yeah,
like, how many 1-drops are in this lane? It's not I don't know, man.
No, you're right. Okay, guys, my bad. See, this is why you guys are here, both of you. Thank you for correcting me. You're absolutely right. A weaker Elektra. You're absolutely right, because she's a 1-cost.
It's like I don't know. Like this is another one where they were just like, what happens if we just delete Killmonger, right? Like that's kind of what this one is like. What happens if we just make this card totally unplayable? Like just throw him off a cliff. And I think that is worth experimenting with. Like when you look at the cards that define the parameters of the metagame the most, Killmonger and Shang-Chi are way up there. So if you're looking to see what a metagame would be like without them, you are specifically harsh to them. Killmonger, I think, you are not accomplishing your goals if you play Killmonger to beat, unless you're trying to beat something very, very specific. So like decks like Zoo, decks like Thanos are now about to be much more playable without having to devote a slot to Kyera, just in case your opponent runs the card that says you lose. And I think that's good. Those are fun decks. Those are relative new player decks. Zoo, at least. Thanos is not. But that is the kind of thing where it's like, I would like to see more of things in that vein. Obviously, I don't think literally deleting Killmonger makes sense, but certainly it feels like, I guess, the class of cards Killmonger was oppressing, he's less of a release valve and more of a punch them while they're down. Nobody's out here complaining about one drops, right? Like, what is Killmonger actually stopping from happening that's like so messed up? So I like this one, but obviously, I think if they actually were to keep any of this, they should be a little lighter on him. Maybe destroys cards in the other lanes or whatever. You know, just something that tones him down. But of all the tech cards, he's the one that has like the least, in my opinion, justification for existing. He's the one that solves a problem the least.
That's fair. Guess how do you feel about it?
I see what they were trying to do here, which was just say, Killmonger, you suck. And they achieved that because I'm not even thinking more about Elektra. I'm thinking more about the comparison of this versus Man-Thing, where very often Man-Thing actually ends up with better value because you're putting them in negative. And for that one extra cost, I think that actually has a stronger play for the next 2 weeks versus Killmonger. So one of two things happens from this version of Killmonger. He's either fully reverted back to his original state, or they do some kind of weird secondary variation of Killmonger where he's a 3/3 and destroy all one-cost cards in the other lanes. And to me, that's a much more interesting card because his placement then has very unique synergy with Deadpool, which is what you really are using him for on your own offensive side more often than not, as well as your X-23. And sorry, no, wait, we have Moira now, even though hit or miss on Moira decks for me, but we do have Moira to consider as well. But from an from a defensive standpoint, when you're trying to take down your opponent, now it's not just exactly what you were saying of you just lose if you're running, you know, a Zoo deck or a Thanos deck. It's just GG's, it's over. Now there's real strategy behind which lane you need to play this card into. And I kind of like that better for him if they're going to do anything to him, but otherwise I think they just revert him back to straight 3/3. This card doesn't exist for the next 2 weeks, plain and simple. You just play Elektra or Man-Thing instead.
Fair point. No, I like that. I do like the one that you're talking about too, destroying the other lanes. That makes a lot of sense. It makes a nice fun game, even playing against Ultron and stuff like that too. So I do like that. All right, so on to the next card we have, of course, is Enchantress. She goes from 4/6, everything she did before, of course, which is remove the abilities of all ongoing cards here. She is now a 5/8. So being able to play her on turn 5 instead of turn 4 is what happens now. Now, most of the time, you do play her on the later turns. Giving her additional power here as well, I think is pretty good. But the fact she's a 5-cost really does suck. But at the end of the day, I do think this change can actually stick. How do you guys feel about that, KM?
This could stick. What I like about it conceptually is that it creates sort of a greater space between her and Rogue. And I think like when you just zoom out and look at this like top down, the card that gets rid of one ongoing costing 3, and then the card that gets rid of every ongoing costing 4 and having a bigger body, it does seem like there could be some distance that should be created there. That is sort of where my head is at. Like, I think conceptually, if you ask me to like redesign Marvel Snap, that is one of the things where I'd be like, it's like lower on the priority list, but I'd be like, oh yeah, no, maybe we should move Enchantress up the curve or make Rogue stronger in some way, things like that, right? I think it's meaningful to move a card that says remove all ongoings up the curve. Because let's be honest about Enchantress. A lot of people just play her to remove an ongoing, right? Sometimes she'll remove all the ongoings, but a lot of the time it's just like goodbye Darkhawk or whatever, right?
Iron Man.
And that's not bad, but it does make her a bit one size fits all, and a lot of that is her cost. And I can see moving her up the curve as like a long-term kind of move. But I don't think this one will stick because it absolutely breaks Series 1. Series 1 is all about some Devil Dinos, some ongoing decks, some Blue Marvels. Enchantress is already the best tech card in that metagame, and I think at 5 cost, she might just be the best card in that metagame because of how easily she faces down basically every other 5 cost in Series 1 and makes them look terrible.
That's a good point. Guess, how do you feel about her?
I think
Series 1, I forgot about that.
It's weird because when you look at it from the perspective of Series 1, I could see that argument. But I see it more as a 5/6. I see it just dropping some power and then running in that aspect in Series 1 to be like, okay, listen, you can have that sacrifice, but it's just not going to be as strong. But then when you look at current metagames I've been playing for X amount of months or years, now you're looking at a couple of different synergies on how 4/6 was used versus how this 5/8 would be used. Because you think 5/8s, you think most of the 5/7s and 5/8s, you're looking at, okay, am I playing Cosmic Ghost Rider? Am I playing Legion? Am I playing and this is just too similar to Cosmic Ghost Rider for me at this, especially at this power, even though Cosmic Ghost Rider has its own little more universality. I think that this one does actually get fully reverted, but for the next 2 weeks, it's actually better in the Nightmare Sauron decks than it was previously. I think that is a meaningful buff to that deck. And with all of the other changes that have happened to tech cards, it really does. I was playing it earlier. It felt really good. It just needs, I need to optimize my list. I didn't like Scar in it, so I'm going to be cutting that. But I think it's a very interesting change because it makes you compete with those other big 5s. You know, we've watched the evolution of them. Originally, it was like Vision for quite some time, best 5 drop in the game. And then Legion came along and we didn't know what to do. And then after a while, we kind of figured out Legion and realized, wow, this is now the next big 5 drop in the game. That's where I think this is trying to compete with. And that's why I think it actually gets reverted. And maybe we go back to 4/6. Maybe we go back to 4/5 or 4/7. I don't know. But I do think it's going to be a 4 cost again.
Interesting. All right. I like that. I hope she stays at 5, but you know what? Let's see what happens. All right, next on the list we have Shadow King. Now, Shadow King, I believe, came out at a 3 cost. They put him back to a 3 cost, and he is now 3.
He came out at a 4 cost.
4 costs? Okay, that was even.
He was a 4/3.
That's even crazier to think about. And nobody liked it. They did buff him to a 3, went down to a 2. Now they put him at a 3 cost just to see how he would do. And I think, honestly, this can change. This can go back to exactly what it was before. I don't think it being at a 3 cost is good for this card. I hope they do revert it back. Shadow King is not that bad, especially if they decide to keep some of the other cards the way it is. Putting Shadow King back to 2 costs will be great. That's what I think is going to happen. How do you feel about it, Cam?
Boo! Boo! They over-nerfed this card. I feel like they leaned too far into the gimmick here. We get it. It's got to nerf all the tech cards. Stop it. This guy did nothing wrong. What are we doing? This is a victim of the gimmick. He's a tech card, so he had to get nerfed. I don't believe in that.
All right. Guess how do you feel about it?
I mean, Shadow King at 2 cost. He does what he's supposed to do at 2 cost. Could I see this going back to like 2/1 when they decide to bring it back? Maybe. So that way it's really, really specifically focusing on you're not using this card to win the lane because of that power difference. Kind of like how Eliath used to be in a certain way. Like that's not what I'm thinking it would be with the, or even Leader, I think is a better example. That's not what I think this is going to end up going back to. 3/3, I think people will play this card. They'll just have to reappropriate it differently because it's not one you play on curve for your Surfer decks. You know, it's like, oh, it's a 3 cost, got to throw it in Surfer. No, you don't. You never throw this in Surfer. Are you drinking? That's not what you do. This is maybe you throw this in a Darkhawk package because you're trying to fill your turn 6 now with that plus Mystique. Like that's what you're trying to do for the next 2 weeks. But if that's also what you're trying to do for the next 2 weeks, you're not embracing what the strength of this balance patch actually was, which is much better decks. So right. I think this one does not stick, but it'll go back to 2 costs. I just don't know where in the 2 cost category it'll rest.
There's okay. No reason why this shouldn't just be a 2/2 again. Like right. This is them doing the gimmick. Like, this right. did not need to get nerfed. No one was like, God, I hate all those tech cards, and they meant Shadow King.
Little King.
Like,
facts.
You might as well nerf Juggernaut again. Like, I don't know what we're doing here. People hate that. Like, this is just the gimmick has gone too far. It has permeated real life, and I don't like it. Free my boy.
Agreed. Back to 2/2. All right, then we have, of course, NTW, which was a 3/3. After any character is played here, destroy it once per game. To a 4/5. Now, this card alongside Juggernaut was a pain for a while. They did nerf Juggernaut. So now Negasonic kind of had that, that ability to hang around still at the 3 costs. I think, honestly, 4/5 is not bad. I mean, I think to me, more so a buff than anything else, putting additional 2 power in that lane after you destroy your opponent's card. It sucks as a 4 cost, but I think this is pretty good. I think this might actually stick around and stay. And at that point, I think you need to have Zabu, Juggernaut, and this card in the lane. I mean, in this deck if you want to really enjoy it. But 4/5, I think, is a good stat. How do you feel about it, KM?
This is the one where I least forgive people for not getting the joke. Like, okay. It literally says we're nerfing this card because the word Negasonic isn't in the dictionary. And people are like, you assholes. I can't believe it. I cannot believe that you would do this seriously. This is the one where it's like, if you read the patch notes and you got this far, I don't know what I can say to help you. But I think that a lot of what makes Negasonic good is that she's a pretty cheap include that can have pretty high outcomes. And so, especially in a deck like a Wiccan deck, right? Where you're doing Quicksilver, Domino, Negasonic. Eat it. Not only am I getting my 3-drop, I have priority. Something you play dies, I don't care, right? Like that. I think you could argue that 4/5 is like a side grade or whatever, but it takes her out of a lot of her easy slot-ins. And now if you play this card, you have to actually want what she's doing. Of all the changes, this is the one that could most likely appear in a real OTA. I'll say that much. This is the most real change to me. The rest of them are like, okay, we're doing Fantasyland stuff, and that's cool. But this one is like, yeah, okay, I can see you doing it.
Okay. Guess, how do you feel about it?
I think this is the card that might have inspired the entire series of making these changes because, like you said, it was that Juggernaut Negasonic duo that was such an oppressive turn 6 combo that just absolutely ruined so many different people. And once they adjusted Juggernaut, which I'm glad they did before this rather than doing that as a part of this gimmick, because then people would be worried, wait, both are going to go back? Like that just would have been that would have been awful to have been suffering for the last couple of weeks with that still going. I think that this Negasonic change almost makes me want to re-adventure back to old Negasonic a bit of the next card played here. So that's both sides.
Okay.
I miss that version because I think we're now in a much better place to be able to handle that card. We've had a lot more releases since that version of that card. And I look at some of the synergies that are popular right now and what you could do with that card today, like the hood stuff, for example, that goes out with Fire Hair and Make the Miseries. And then it gives you another alternate play line for that kind of stuff, depending on your draws. I'd be interested in seeing how that exists. How that would exist in today's metagame, because seeing Negasonic at 3 for so long wasn't it? It used to be like a 3-1 or a 3-2, and then it got buffed to 3-3, and then everyone finally recognized how good the card was, and now it's too good. It's in so many places because the Wiccan decks got too consistent, and I don't know about this one. Like, go ahead.
I've got 2 stories about Negasonic. First of all, everyone forgets when she released, and she blew up like herself, your cards too, or she blew up herself. That's what it was.
Yes.
And everyone was like, she's terrible, and then they gave her 1 more point of power, but she still blew herself up, and it was like, what are you guys doing? Why would that ever actually be helpful? They've come such a long way, I think, in the balance department. And I guess the second thing I wanted to mention is in a tournament one time, I think it was like a Twitch Rivals, I lost to Raven. Shout out Raven, the Hearthstone commentator playing Negasonic. And I guess he just knew. I guess he just knew way back in the day. Yeah. He had the read. He had the read. And it's like, it like actually kind of surprised, like Negasonic Dakin Gambit Surfer deck, and it's like now we actually play those. You know what I mean? Like it's like, man, he got me. I don't think Negasonic is seeing a lot of play because of the Wiccan stuff. I think another thing is like part of the reason Negasonic sees a lot of play is Killmonger's prevalence too. They go together a decent amount of the time. Because if you remove a lot of the small stuff from the board, Negasonic then hits like a big thing a lot of the time. The threat of Killmonger prevents people from playing like reasonable Negasonic fodder because it just doesn't exist because Killmonger exists. And so there is this combination of cards where she shows up. I've lost games entirely to Negasonic Killmonger Gambit. Just, my board died. Whoops.
Yep.
So I think this one is a very real change they can stick with. Like the Shang and the Killmonger, it's like, okay, maybe they stick with like modified versions of this. The Enchantress, it's like that's cool, but they probably won't. Right. This could just happen.
But this one, agreed. Totally agree. All right. Let's see what happens, guys. All right, next on the list, we have Alioth. This card used to be a menace when it first came out. Everybody hated this wonderful season, of course, with Loki alongside it, and, of course, Ravonna. Nonetheless, I love Ravonna. I'm just saying she wasn't bad, but Alioth was definitely a menace. So was Loki. This card was a 6/9. On reveal, remove the text from all unrevealed enemy cards here. Now, it went from a 6/9 to a 6/6. Honestly, I think this one can revert back. Alioth is not a problem as it used to be. It still does what it needs to do, and 6/9 I think was a fair number to give it. I think we keep it there. So this, for sure, I think reverts back. How do you feel about that, KM?
Can I swear on this show?
Yes.
100%.
I have not seen a single motherfucker complaining about Alioth getting nerfed. I have seen people complaining about everything else in this patch. I have not seen a single motherfucker sad about this. You could probably just do this. Like I was surprised by the response. Yeah, like I haven't seen a single person like, I can't believe they nerfed Alioth. SDL. Not once. Not once. I've seen it for every other card in this patch. Not once for Alioth. 0 times. Nobody is at this dude's funeral except the people who showed up just to make sure he was dead. This is not a card that has a fan base. I don't know. I am struck by the amount of absolute silence I'm seeing from like Alioth Hive out there.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. It can stay that way. That's fair. You're right, though. You're absolutely right. No one has complained. You're absolutely right. Guess, how do you feel about Alioth?
Yeah. This better stick. Okay. This one for that exact same mindset of, the only people that really love playing this card right now are the people looking to abuse the strength of the move season because they're playing Heimdall options and need another big card to try to guarantee that lane win. And Alioth is more consistent than just big body insert name here. You know, the Gores, the Red Hulks, etc. People just like, yeah, I got this one instead. Fart. You know, and yeah, I'm totally okay with this. The card is needed to die for a while, and this seems like, shaving 3 points of power off it. I'm pretty okay with that. So,
okay, all right. I hear you.
It's entirely possible that, after 2 weeks, we're going to be like, damn, I really miss Alioth. I think that's possible. But
I can also miss, old Uatu, and I have just as much of a chance of that too.
Wow. All right. Listen, I think it reverts back, but you know what? You guys are right. Nobody's complaining about it. Leave it at 6/6. Fair enough. I think the ability is way more powerful than the power on that card. So I don't blame you guys. Now we on to Red Guardian, which was a 3/2. On reveal, afflict the lowest power enemy card here with -2 power and remove its text. It is now a 3/0. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You could put your Red Guardians in your Mr. Negative decks now and have a ball with it. However, I think this might get a little adjusted and he might become a 3/1. Red Guardian is a very strong card. A lot of people have been using it currently, and I think it is very powerful. So I think he does become a 3/1. KM, you don't agree with me. Why? Let me hear why you feel that way.
Dude, I don't even think this guy should be a 3/2. Like, first of all, they just sold a $100 bundle with this guy in it. Yes. So, let's start there.
Right, you're right.
I swear to God, I do this conspiracy theory every time when they buff a card and then it shows up in a bundle. I'm like, that's why they buffed the card. Apparently, they just don't think about that at all because, happens. It just had the exact opposite of it just happened. I think Red Guardian is overwhelmingly a good thing for the metagame. I think a lot of why you've seen a lot of the decks dominate right now that you are currently seeing right now is the lack of his presence. I think it is nice that there is a card that is a catch-all tech option, but he's not really a catch-all if you play around him in a meaningful way. Red Guardian is a catch-all in very specific circumstances, and those circumstances add dynamism to his play. When people were playing a bunch of Sam Captain America in order to have the shield to keep their stuff safe from Red Guardian, that's cool. That's just cool. It's a cool little thing that you can play around certain things in this way. He is by far the most dynamic of the tech cards. I enjoyed his presence in here. 3/0 is ridiculous. 3/1 is ridiculous. 3/2, I probably am not playing him a lot. I think they should buff Red Guardian. I think he mostly did good things.
Buff him to what?
3/3 again.
I think 3/3?
That's what I think. That's what I would do.
I think he's stronger regardless of his power. I just think 0 is too bad for him. I think a 1 is fine, right? But listen, I hear you. Listen, I rather buff than nerfs anyway. I just feel that Red Guardian is a very powerful card, and I agree with you. It is a great card. Guess, I'm gonna let you say your piece.
I think the idea of changing Red Guardian is okay, just not in the way that they did it here. Because the good thing about this card is there are multiple different things that they can do to it. There's multiple different dials. And a lot of the strength of what this card does is specifically the text removal. I think that this does revert back to a 3/2, but maybe there's a chance it goes back to 3/3 with a -1 affliction instead of that way. Because I think the power on your side of the board, more often than not in that situation of a 3/3 that gives -1 versus a 3/2 that gives -2, I feel like even though it's a total of net 4, you just needed to activate other potential synergies. Like Red Guardian, you very often see it in affliction decks. And then, okay, you get another piece to afflict on there, whether it's a, man thing or you're throwing on, oh my God, the 3/3 Diamondback, like that kind of stuff. It is something that exists. I think that the card in total of being a 3/0 is too far. I think this one's more a victim of the bit than I think the others. And I think that's just straight up intentional. They're trying to say, listen, go enjoy your sandcastles, have fun. That's why they're doing this one.
All right, that's fair. Let's see what happens when they do decide to make those changes again. Now we have the last card, of course, the one and only, the good dog, Cosmo. Cosmo was, of course, a 3/3 ongoing. On reveal abilities won't happen here, and they nerf buff this card to a 4/6. So has more power, of course, but it costs more to play. A 4/6 cost Cosmo. Does that stick around? Not at all, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think this sticks around at all. It has to be a 3 cost to stay right on curve in that wonderful middle, right? That 3 cost is where Cosmo needs to be. So I don't think this sticks around. But nonetheless, KM, how do you feel about Cosmo's change?
It's interesting because I think there's this thing going on where, like, I think a lot of people underestimate how big you need to be to have a good stat line for a 4 if you have, like, a game-changing effect. When Stardust came out, like, I saw 2 alternating takes. One was, oh my god, how could you release this card, and then a list of cards that Stardust affects, which is a terrible way to analyze any card.
Right.
But the other was, why is it only a 4/7? Like, I'm not going to be able to put this in any of my decks. And now here we are. Stardust is eminently balanced, very good card, but is a 4/7. So not every deck can afford it, which is good. Like, it's a good thing that you have to go out of your way for a game-changing effect like this.
Right.
And I think Cosmo is, like, that one. I'm the wrong person to ask because I thought they should nerf Cosmo for, like, 2.5 years. So, like, I am a little bit, like, not the right guy for this moment, right? It's a bit like going out and getting, you know, a guy who definitely did not like you to give your eulogy, right? Like, that's kind of what you're asking me to do for Cosmo here. And it's hard for me to stay objective. But I kind of did feel like his effect was pretty game-changing and made more sense on a more expensive card. So, like, again, this is one of those zoom out things. Maybe he just can't do his job at this cost. But if you zoom out, much like Enchantress creating distance between herself and Rogue, it's one of those things where it's like, I actually think this is worth taking a look at.
Okay. That's a fair point. Guess, how do you feel about it?
I'm going to throw an idea at KM, and I want to hear his reaction to it. Cosmo at 5/8.
Into it?
For the same reasons that we look at Enchantress.
Yeah, into it. The issue there is, and again, I don't know if this is an issue. Is Wong a problem? Because, like, my whole thing is, like, as long as Cosmo is a 3/3, I'm never going to care about a Wong. Like, as long as Cosmo is a 3/3, that card is dead as far as competitive Marvel Snap goes. It's just not a serious consideration. And that kind of sucks because it's really cool. Like, I don't know. I think there's, like, if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to shut down my opponent's Wong Black Panther. I mean, I could do that. I could play Stardust, right? I could just do, like, I could prevent them from putting the Black Panther in another lane with the Arnim Zola. It just doesn't work, and they lose the game. I could do that. I kind of think that there's a lot of different ways to solve what Wong does without needing this card. And what Cosmo was very often doing was just saying, haha, your cards don't have text on the final turn because I am in a deck with a bunch of scalers that scale immeasurably, like all the move cards, or when Thena was good, Thena stuff, or Invisible when first step stuff, where it's like, good luck interacting with me, idiot. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I kind of do think that it's worth taking a swing on this one. This is one of the ones I'm much more copacetic about Cosmo getting hit here.
Okay.
I think it's an okay idea to change, cost and power to raise it up for that exact same reason. That's why I wanted to throw it out there to get your opinion on what if this was a 5-cost card, that really locked down that lane for the final turn where, clearly you were trying to set that up to do this thing on the final turn, and now you don't get to do that thing. And it's just a straight up block. The same way that we play Enchantress, the same way that we play sometimes Legion, even Cosmic Ghost, right? It's all those single lane fuck yous right on that turn. And that's how you're typically wanting to play a 5-cost version. A 4-cost version, this just feels like Cosmo Chantress. It's just another variation of the same card. I consider it lateral in that same sense, where it's like it can exist at 3/3, but I think logically, looking at the entire game, it exists in a better place at 4/6 for what it's truly doing, but people will push back just because they're not accustomed to it.
Okay. That's fair. I definitely agree with you both. But I think I do believe, I hope it does go back to 3 just for that curve. But hey, let's see what happens in the next couple of weeks, right? This 4/6 might be powerful enough where people go, you know what? Just keep Cosmo where he's at. All right. So that's how we feel about all these wonderful imbalance changes. All right. We'll see what happens come in the 2 weeks. Like we said, we mentioned before, But for those who don't know, still after watching us talk about them, these are all temporary, most of them anyway. These things might revert back or they might change altogether. So please enjoy the joke, laugh a little, enjoy life a little bit more, and not get upset at all these wonderful changes that happen today. Now, speaking of awesome things, we're going to go ahead
The
and
second
dive
dinner
into...
check just cashed. Just letting you know, the second dinner check
you
just
very
cashed. You should check your bank account.
Thank you very much. I needed that. Definitely needed that.
That was Tuesday.
Yeah, well, see, guest already knows what he's talking about. There it goes. All right, so we're going to head and talk about the newest card that came out this week, and that is Bastion. So now Bastion, of course, is a 4/3 on reveal. Add copies of your other cards here to your hand. Set their costs to 2 and their power to 3. So I really enjoyed this card, had a good time with it, was able to climb from 87 to 97 with it. Now, before I dive into more of what this card is, I want to hear you guys' opinion first, starting with Guess this time. Guess, how do you feel about Bastion? Did you enjoy it? What's your thoughts?
I was laughing this morning as I was checking out some guy named KM Best's video because we both came to the exact same conclusion independently, which was the 3 decks that this card was best in was discard, C3, and I kind of wanted to mess around more with some ongoing shenanigans a bit kind of too, but discard was its best home. And I did not expect that from this card. Like C3, sure, it makes sense and you could do some cool things with it. But once I started playing the Dakin build that I had and it was doing well and I was climbing, and a 212 Dakin is really good.
Can I jump in here for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't expect it from which card?
Discard.
So Bastion. Bastion is a very good card for those archetypes. And it wasn't where my brain originally was going with the card, I think is where, like, I get the bit that it was, okay, it's a 4/3 that makes 2 3s because all Sentinels are 3s. But I agree with KM, and I'll let you kind of spin off of this, where it is a victim. This card is a victim of the bit, just like some of the OTA changes are victims of the bit, where this card shouldn't be a 4/3, it should be a 4/6.
I don't know if that's true. Like, I agree it could be a fair bit stronger, but also, would that be fun? Like, this is one of those cards where it's like, if this is a good card that shows up a lot, what does that mean? It means that your opponent's good draws in their generic good stuff mid-range deck are intensified whenever they get them. That's probably not actually fun. Because if this card is good enough to see their generic mid-range play, basically whenever they're doing this to you, Drew V hand, Lamau, GG, also it's a 4/6. Like, there's just kind of a lot of repetition inherent to this card. And I think that repetition would, in very short order, get to a point where people would be upset about it. Like, there is a gameplay consideration here where, like, yeah, if you were just balancing it, I think you could very easily say it's a 4/5, right? I think you would be like, yeah, this guy should be a 4/5. But also, do you want it to be a 4/5? Because you've sort of pushed it to the point of being a generically good card. Is this a good card to push to that point? Is this a good card to push to that point to the exclusion of potential synergies like Cerebro? Is that something that you want to take explicitly out of this card's portfolio? Like, I don't love the power level this card released at, but I do think it's probably the best option they had on the table.
I think that the card itself is not supposed to be a card that obviously wants to be generically viable, just because there's such a limited amount of cards that want to benefit of turning another card into a 2/3. And the homes in which it rests best in, I mean, it's definitely discard. Right now, it's definitely C3. I honestly don't think Victoria Hand is anywhere close to as good as we think it is with this card, because we want it to be good with this card, just because Victoria Hand is an incredibly strong deck right now, and I think Victoria Hand decks are better without Bastion than they are with. I think that if you had to rank them, it's more so discard C3 Victoria Hand. Now remove Victoria Hand from the conversation. That's where you then have to think about Bastion at a 4/5. If you put that as a 4/5 in your example, does that bring C5 to a competitive level?
No, because he still sets us up to 3.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, I'm forgetting that.
You see my problem.
No, I forgot that part. I forgot that part. I'm thinking about the 5s and the 2s and the 3s. And
like, yeah, if he were
numbers.
a 4/5 that's set to 5, yeah, he'd be awesome,
right.
dude. He'd be a very different card.
Yeah.
All right.
Very true.
If you guys haven't seen the video yet, KM Best was the one that spotlighted Bastion, so make sure you guys go ahead and check out that spotlight video.
True.
I'll leave a link down below to it. And because he had the extra time with it, KM, before I dive into the list that I used, I want to hear your thoughts. Give it a ranking. Do you remember the ranking system? We have, of course, plastic.
Oh, I don't. Okay, keep going.
Okay, I got you. We got plastic, we got silver, gold, diamond, platinum. Where do you put Bastion?
So the alloy of silver and gold is called electrum. And that's where I'm going to put this.
Put it right between. Okay, the combine of silver and gold. Electrum. I like that. All right. See, again, KM is just a big word, guys. I'm going to put it on the screen so you guys know what that word means.
It's 8 letters.
I'm with you. I'm not.
There's less letters.
I'm letting the people know.
Oh, my God. Dude, there's less letters in the word cyberpunk on the screen.
That is
Is
fair.
that what that says?
Yes. Guess. What's your take?
In the decks that it's in, it's a gold. Everywhere else, it's a silver. So, yeah, it's right on there with that,
Right between.
that large
Yes.
E word that you said to the public that it went over my head.
Yes. I definitely with you guys. I'm putting it definitely in a gold, double silver range. I'll show you guys the list that I did end up playing with and help climb. It was great climb. So it was a move deck. I ended up putting Bastion on the move deck using Tribunal and Magic to help out. So, you know, your whole play lines here were to get Sparky down on 2, Magic on 3, start moving around the Human Torch, and then, of course, on the final turn, use Sparky to dodge the Shang-Chi after you copied the other Human Torch. And then Luke Cage was a surprise because when you put down that Human Torch that you think should be a 3 power because of Bastion, once you play Luke Cage, he goes back up to that huge 30 or 50 power we used to get Human Torch to. And then by that time, we either win the game or, again, on that final turn, if we move Human Torch enough to get him into triple digits, you just play Tribunal and game is over. Most cases, my opponents felt I was playing Heimdall, so they kind of played to, you know, play the 2 lanes or wherever, you know, Heimdall is going to move everything. And then they get surprised when they see Tribunal and I get the whole Erisham emote most of my games. So definitely a great deck. It is fun to play. Again, as long as you get to move that Human Torch a lot, leave Sparky for that final move so you can dodge the Shang-Chi because they're waiting for you. They're waiting for Shang-Chi to play. Dodge the Shang-Chi, play the other Human Torch in another lane with your Luke Cage, and victory is yours. So this is a list that I use, and I agree with you guys. I still think it's around a double silver or a gold. Now, we do have some fun things to talk about. That's the newest card coming out this week, and that is the other Human Torch, Jim Hammond. So let's go ahead and pull Jim up so you guys know exactly what Jim is all about. And Jim is a 1/2, Series 5, at the start of each turn, +1 power for each bonus energy you have. So I like this card already. The way I'm thinking about it, of course, is all that wonderful energy you can have, especially with that card that came out, the Fallen one. Or if you want to use, Jennifer Kale or even Psylocke, having that extra bonus energy might help you out in the long run for this card. Now, Gas, I'm going to start from you again. How do you feel about this card? What's your preview take for it? And, of course, let the people know what I would say around 5 cards what other 5 cards you think should go with this card?
And you're asking me a whole bunch of questions. Okay, so
I know, that's the point.
Well, here's the thing. With this card, up until I think today, I was not excited about the card. And then I was shocked to hear that the Fallen one worked with it. because the Fallen One, the way that its text is written is that it sets your max power to blank amount. So I figured, okay, that's not +1 power, it's green power. Apparently that's not the case.
Right.
So as someone who last season took a Fallen One deck to Infinite with, to make a single card substitution, to have this card be a 120 plus, I think that that's a mistake. Like, I straight up think it's a absolute fucking mistake to let this card get that synergy, because you know, we have ways of energy cheat, and that's always existed in the game due to Sarah. That's fine. Right. And then you get a little bit of plus extra here. Here's +1 here. You got a location, maybe gives you +3 here. Okay. You know, sometimes you get the awesome synergies and you lean into it with some extra energy, and you might get +2 here, +3 here at most. Sure. We got Fallen One. And now that one synergy alone might make this card a Platinum Plus card. Just that one synergy. I think that this, even without it, was at minimum a double gold, because you can get +1 energy and just throw it into your favorite Airshim deck and it's a guaranteed 1/6. Like, I think that this was already going to be a good card. Now with the Fallen One, this might be a problem 1-drop you have to prepare for.
I have a question for you.
42.
Were you often having trouble winning games when you had 20 energy?
Yep.
Yes, 100% I was too.
You're really struggling in a way that a 1-drop would help you. Like, I don't know, man. This kind of feels...
Look at the win rate, if you look at the win rate of Fallen One, I think I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I feel like the good Fallen One decks are not the ones that do 20 energy, though. Like, the good Fallen One decks are like relatively smaller ball, not Spider-Man 2099 Galactus piles, right?
Or no. I'm not doing Shuri stuff. No.
Okay, so then how are you getting this to be 20 power?
I was doing Shuri with First Step Silver Surfer, getting it to 20 power. And sorry, guys, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, let me dissociate two thoughts here, okay? Me talking about the 20 power version is what some people were talking about. The one that I took to Infinite with Fallen One was a Captain Carter Moonstone Fallen One build. So I was never getting to 20. But those who were getting, if you're playing the Fallen 120 version, that's an all in. You got to hit your, it's like Mr. Negative. If you hit the nuts, you're winning 100%.
Yeah, correct.
But that middle ground of Fallen One, where it's like giving only +2, okay, sure, that's great, but you could do that via other mechanics. In that deck that I took to Infinite, where I was regularly +7, +9 or more, which was really, really strong and good, me throwing this into that deck, that's probably the only deck I'm going to run on day one, because I see no reason to run any other build, because it's the most consistent and has tech available to it, even with the OTA patch that we had today.
I've got a conspiracy theory.
Do it.
Okay, let's hear it.
They nerfed Killmonger because of this. This is why they put Killmonger in the trash can. The only thing that doesn't hold up about this conspiracy theory is they didn't put Mobius in the trash can for the card that comes out next week. But
that's true.
We'll wait. We still got time.
We don't, actually.
No, we don't.
No, that's right. That's right. No, we don't. That's right. OTAs are done. That's right. 2 weeks. You're right.
But all I'm saying is they put Killmonger in the trash can right before they release a 1-drop. The truth is out there, people. The truth is out there. This is all, dude, it's all making sense now. This is why they nerfed Red Guardian. This is why they nerfed Shadow King. We were like, it's all to protect Jim Hammond. Folks. The conspiracy goes right to the top.
That is fair. No, I do agree with you. I was one definitely getting the 20 power, and the only way I won is if I had everything in my hand, meaning I had to have the Brood, the Galacta, and the Surfer. If I didn't have any of those, I'm not winning that game, right? Because I would protect that lane, right? I would have armor on 2, First Steps on 3, Shuri on 4, Fallen One on 5. That lane is nice and big and chunky and prepared. The other 2 lanes are just sitting there, especially if I don't draw what I need to buff any of those cards. But with this card on the list, it becoming a 120 whatever power, but that's after that turn is over, correct? Because this is at the start of each turn. This is not when you put the card down, you have all that energy on you. So will it happen at the end of the game, right?
No.
Because in most cases you're playing so unless you're cheating out Fallen One with, some shenanigans like Electro, then this card is not going to work with the standard Shuri on 4 and Fallen One on 5, because this is not going to get that buff on the last turn.
No, it'll get the buff on turn 6.
What do you mean? You're playing this on turn 6. You're playing this card on turn 6.
No. Why would you play this on turn 6?
Because on turn 5, you're playing Fallen One.
Come on.
No, come on. No, wait, I'm lost here. Shuri on 4, Fallen One on 5. When am I playing this card?
On turn 1, bro.
Yeah.
It's one cost.
Yeah.
Dude,
no,
when do I play my 1 cost card?
Listen. I'm thinking about something completely different. I'm thinking about doing some type of synergy.
Please inform me
it.
what that different thing is. So
my mind was more so around, hey, playing this with Taskmaster is what I was thinking about. That's why I said I'm playing it on turn 6 with all that extra energy. But that's what I said. I realized it's not going to work when you play it on turn 6. So Taskmaster makes no sense now. So you have to play this card early, get all that energy, and then on the last turn, you probably could play Zola and try to Zola this across the board. But that's where my mind was going. The last turn, play this 120 power.
That's a
and
legitimate answer. I'll let you have it. That's fine.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. But nonetheless, Jim Hammond, preview at Platinum. Yes, I totally agree with that. This card has a lot of potential sitting in with, of course.
You literally can't play this card on the last turn. Am I stupid?
You
are correct. No, you can't.
That's correct.
It's a 1-2 on the final turn.
I was like, what do you mean we're taskmastering this?
That's why he was so confused.
That's right. That's what I was saying. That's what I was aiming for, playing it on turn 6. And you guys are like, why would you play it on turn 6? Yeah. So, no. I think this goes great also in some She-Hulk decks as well, right? Being able to have Sunspot, somehow getting extra energy, skipping that turn, having that in there as well. With the She-Hulks, I think these are pretty fun, pretty cool to play with. So definitely want to try it out with multiple different decks, but I definitely think it's going to be in that platinum range. Now, we got your grading. Kane, what do you think about it?
I don't know, like silver? I don't think this card is very good, guys.
What?
Wow,
yeah,
he's saying
they're going to revert
trash.
Killmonger at some point, right? Like, this is a 1 drop I want to invest my whole game plan around. Boy, I really hope nothing bad happens to it.
Like, see, I
don't know.
I think you're looking at it wrong, though, because if you look at it from the idea of investing into this card like that, sure, that's a problem. If you throw this in as just a generic 1 drop that regularly will be stronger than Hydra Bob.
Okay, but define regularly.
It has to get to 1-5.
Right, but like it'll regularly be stronger than Hydra Bob if you pull off your combo. Like if you get your Wiccan, which you're giving up Quicksilver to do this, or you get your Fallen One, which you're 75% to get, and then it'll get to 1-5. But one of Hydra Bob's biggest strengths is that you get the 1-4 output no matter what, and you can play it on the final turn. And this card will never be able to do that. And
it's not a final turn. I agree. Yes. I'll give you that.
That's actually a really important part about Hydra Bob, is that he can do that. Is that like a lot of the time I'll hold a Hydra Bob for later, right? That flexibility is valuable the lower the cost is. If the number is large on the 1 cost, that's good because you can not devote a lot of energy to something and get a lot of output out of it, right? This guy seems fine, but Fallen One is a mid to fine deck. And while I agree it's cool that they have a 1 drop, it's just not the kind of thing I see making a big difference.
I think
so. No hope summer shenanigan with this list, with this card.
I would love if that was true. I'm the world's biggest fan of Kitty Pryde in every way.
So, right.
But I'm not sure I buy it.
Fair.
I think that the way you look at the reason you put Hydra Bob more often in your deck is because you're trying to do the 5+1 as part of your game plan. If that's not part of your turn 6 game plan, I think that this card may end up being stronger in certain situations. That's what I'm saying. because it's the same reason we did the whole Black Bolt stature type stuff for so long, or throwing the Miles Morales in there, because you want big 5-drop plus big 1-drop. This is not what that card is for. This is for the other decks that want to do other energy cheat, multiple big cards towards the end of the gameplay.
Yes, it's for, in theory, a Wiccan deck. Except it's not, because you can't play Quicksilver if you play this guy.
Okay.
You only need 3 1-drops for a 75% chance to get a 1-drop on your opening hand. So it could
My
work.
Wiccan already fails enough. All right? I'm not...
Wiccan decks. That's the talk of the town right now. But nonetheless, we're going to talk about a card list, or a deck, rather, that did some amazing things this past weekend. Now, if you guys didn't realize, these two gentlemen here with me are the showstoppers of the one and only KM Guess. Now, we had a phenomenal tournament called the Golden Gauntlet World Series 2. That's right, the North America version.
Damn it, dude.
What's the problem? It's not World Series?
That's not what it was called.
It's baseball. Yeah, it's Worlds. Sorry. Worlds.
That's also not what it's called.
What is it called?
Take it, please, before I end this
Golden
stream.
Gauntlet World Championship Qualifier
Series?
2.
Okay, there it is. Qualifier. Why do we call it Worlds Championship Series on the logo with the champion deck? I have no idea. But nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and show that wonderful card list that did some amazing damage this past weekend. And you guys had the awesome job of casting said match. And here is a deck.
That is a
here,
really small picture.
It's a
Yeah,
deck
we're
list
zoom in.
from the Electric Flame.
There you go. There you go, guys. That's not what
there
she
we
said.
go.
Now, here we are. So, the champion, the Electric Flame, came to the tournament with a discard deck. Very traditional, of course, without the Conchu. But nonetheless, a very simple card list. You guys were able to cast it. This deck did damage. It won the championship match. How do you guys feel about it? What was your take when you guys were watching it? What was your thoughts? Did you think before the top 16 started that this deck would be in the championship?
I was rooting for it. I have loved the design of Apocalypse since I started playing this game. This is like the first card I was like back when, God, I don't even remember the name of the website. Before SnapFan and SnapZone, there was some other website with all the cards, and it was a terrible website. It was so ass.
Was it .pro or something like that?
No. Totally. Like,
No,
again,
but- Yes.
I don't remember what it was,
Break my head
but
now.
I remember looking at the cards and being like, Apocalypse. That's what I want to build my deck around. I want to play Lady Sif and then a big Apocalypse. And even then, I was like CL like 100 or whatever. I very swiftly realized that it sucked, right? It was just not what we needed to do. That was in like, we're playing Nova, Carnage, Devil Dinosaur costs 3, Moon Girl costs 3, Nova says +2. At minimum, we're playing Zoo. At maximum, we're doing stuff like that, right? I never got a chance to play him until much later. And he has always been one of my favorite designs in Marvel Snap. And I was definitely rooting for the Electric Flame to take it home. I know casters are unbiased, and I think I was. But also, in my head, I'm the APOC fan. Like, that's how I think about it.
Okay, guess. When you saw this, how did you feel about it? Did you think this was going to take it all the way?
For different reasons, I wanted this deck to do well. Even if it just made it to the finals, I was already happy, because Marble Snap needed this deck to do well, because it is such an approachable deck for so many players. And the idea of only needing to spot farm a very select number of cards that they may not have in their collection yet to build a championship level deck, that is so healthy for the game. And I love the fact that it also speaks to, we kind of talked about it in the podcast, in the broadcast as well, where it's very much like, you know, every iteration of what this deck can do because you've taken the time, you're an expert at it, and you're able to use your snaps as a card. And if there's anything we saw from the gameplay of that, it's that the Electric Flame was hands down the aggressor, saying, I have the combo, I have the situation here, I have what I need, and was using that to their advantage in the battle. And I loved that, because this is a card list that we need to be successful for the health of the game, because it speaks to player skill, not pay to win.
Yes.
And I'm so happy about that, because I've never been a champion of saying that this is a pay to win game, because it's not. It's pay to be pretty and pay to accelerate, and that's it. This is the ultimate confirmation of that for me, and will be a constant reference point. And it was one of the most common comments I saw immediately when it started going. They posted it on socials. Was like, there's your proof. It's not a pay to win game. This is so great for free to play. Da 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 da. New players rejoice. Like I kept seeing those and go take a look at the socials yourself if you don't believe me, because it's there in multitude. So I thought that was such a good thing, but it doesn't take away from the expertise that the Electric Flame brought to that deck and situational awareness. Because I mean, just that one Gamma Lab situation alone, that was game expertise, not even deck expertise at that moment. It was such a great thing to watch happen.
I totally agree. It was definitely a great thing to watch as a spectator as well, as you guys were casting it and breaking down exactly what was going on. And it was exciting to see again after the fact that this person didn't have about 53 cards they're missing, only been to Infinite 4 times, been playing since the beta, and loved this card and did what they had to do to actually take it all the way. The question that you guys, I don't know if you guys asked it, but somebody sure did ask it. Did this person get all these cards from the discard pack sales that Second Dinner was doing? Or did they, or from the Series 5, no, was it? Yeah, the Series 5 mistake? Or did they already have the Conchu and everything else that was here that they needed to build this deck?
I don't remember if that was in the recent interview article.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, right? That's the question that I know people had on their minds. Like, could that have been cool to say, like, hey, tournament's coming up, spent my money to get X amount, these cards from this deck, and then it helped me build my list out to go and win the championship. But nonetheless, this deck did a great job. We had also the Electra ongoing Spectrum deck that won the first one. So now, question to you both. What archetype do you guys feel is going to win the third one?
Oof. Ooh, that's rough. I mean, there's obviously so much that's going to release, and based on all the hints that we know from all of these, the end of the season pass video, the season announcement video where they screamed zombies, and then in the OTA, if you broke down the binary code, they talk about zombies. It kind of confirms the data mine type stuff a bit more, even further. That season alone is going to change a whole and bring in a whole nother archetype potentially. Like, there's a lot to think about before that. But if I had to put $100 down on a deck right now for what would make it to the finals, unfortunately, I'm still going to say Victoria Hand, because it's just very, very consistent, and that's what you really need. And that's why I think so many people brought it in the last qualifier as well. And give it another month of people messing with the deck even further. They'll find 1 or 2 more tweaks to make it even better and even more consistent, and then just GG's. So that's where I'd put my money.
Victoria Hand. All right. Cam?
Hella.
Oh no!
I was about to say. I
don't know. Like, you're asking me an impossible question. Hey man, go predict the future. Destroy.
You know what? I'm definitely going to say it's one of those, because we're thinking on the higher tier that the best decks that are out there, the most consistent, will win, and then this ends up winning the tournament. Same thing with the one prior to it. So I definitely think something as basic as Destroy may win the next one for sure, or something else. But we'll find out when that time comes. Again, the meta will be completely different, because it will be a whole month, a whole new season, a whole plethora of new cards. So I can't wait to see what happens. But I know KM loves Hella. He's a Hella enjoyer for sure. Now, KM, I did find the website. And let's see if it is the same website. We're going to see right now. MarvelSnap.io.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember
See,
this now.
Yes. This is the site that we used to go to before Snap.fan.
Wait,
and
scroll
before
up.
Marvel
Are
Snap
these
Snap.
just like advertisements for casinos with pictures of Marvel Snap cards? Yo, they totally are.
Oh my!
Look at that. One of them
they
is like a
are.
Chat GPT thing in Russian.
Yep.
Pinup casino. Yeah, this was literally.
Oh my God.
This was
Yep.
literally the best we had back in the day.
Back in the
This
day,
was
facts.
this is what we used to use.
Ant-Man. Oh, let's see the Chavez deck.
These are
Come on,
actual
please.
decks.
Yeah, I want to see the Chavez deck. Not Ant-Man. Let's go back.
Ongoing
Last
deck that got me to
updated 2
platinum.
years ago. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure. That's why I said I want to see the Chavez 6-9 decks right now. Destroy pool. You know what?
rest
Let's
in
see
peace.
what we got.
the OG.
Look at this 6-9 Chavez, ladies and gentlemen.
4/4 Enchantress. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and the Colossus, because Colossus.
Pool 2, man. Come on.
know.
Why are you
right.
being a dick?
Why you get so mad to the pool too?
Why are you being a dick? Infinite
Thanos.
power exploit. Yo, click infinite power exploit.
Thanos engine. Oh no. I know what I'm playing tomorrow. This. It's a Thanos.
What's the infinite
bounce.
power? What's the exploit?
Thanos bounce. Yep. Thanos
What,
bounce moon girl.
With Electro wave? Because when I think bounce, I think Electro. Like,
But yeah, well, listen, they did their job. Infinite Storm, I got to click on it. Damn, they
Oh
broke
my
down
God.
a whole thing.
Actually,
Look how
that
nice
deck
they
just
were.
that deck just functions.
Yeah.
That one
Yeah,
actually
for
just
sure.
plays. We probably played something within 2 cards
this
of that in
realm.
pool 2.
Yep. Oh my
we've
goodness,
come
guys.
such a long way. We've come such,
a long way. But yeah, this was definitely.
Can
the
you
site
click?
to
Can
go
you
to.
just like click one of the spam ones? Click
No!
click one of the
Yeah,
casino ones.
Well, it's been
I just
great
wanna know.
having you
I
here
clicked the
today,
chat.
KM. I
I
appreciate
click on the Chat GPT. I'm sure it takes you some type of
God.
website. I'm not clicking
Please
on that,
don't.
but it definitely take you to a website.
I don't want to know what Melbet is or whatever that
Look,
says afterwards. Like, no.
3 weeks ago. So clearly this website is still up. It's still being
but only
hosted,
being used
but
by
nobody's-
spamming
Correct.
casino
Nobody-
ad
right.
rev.
Yeah.
Like,
Correct. It's not secure. It is not secure, guys. Do not go to this website. This website is definitely being overrun by the bots. So
Yeah,
if
you
click
should
on the link,
you
click
see
on
that
the
you see that
link.
ad
a
in the
while ago.
you see
Yeah,
that
yeah.
ad on the
So-
left that you should,
Yeah,
you
the
should
ad
click
is
it.
gone.
You got to get some
Do
Norton.
not click it.
You got to get
Do
some
not click on it.
Norton
Norton, you need
antivirus
that.
software,
Oh,
dude.
dear
Do
God.
not click on it. But yeah, that was the website from the past. All right. So breaking down that wonderful GG deck. Let's go ahead and listen, I put a tweet out about this awesome fun change. Do you guys want to see some of the amazing comments that was given?
Oh no.
What'd you do?
I mean,
what they say?
I'm always a fan of just like
People are so
finding the
happy.
funniest possible tweet. My favorite tweet was
let's-
they tweeted Marvel Snap tweeted about the OTA. They were a little in character, right?
Oh, yeah.
And one of the
Yeah.
responses that was just like, this is so much aura, was just all caps, kill Momger, several question marks. I was like,
What?
that tweet has incredible aura. That's one of the greatest. Like, it's something about that specifically. It's like, that's awesome. Don't go pull it up. Oh, it's your tweet.
No, I'm
Okay,
not.
I
I'm
was
not.
about to
I'm
say.
pulling up mine. This is the one that I post. So I posted this, and I'm going through some of these amazing responses that people had to say. I'm still of the opinion that Shang should have been made destroy all 10 plus cards in one lane, yours included. Do you guys believe that? Do you guys think that?
I do not.
Shang-Chi should just exactly what? Listen, Johnny, thank you for responding on the list. I don't think we should be destroying our own cards.
Why did
with
we
Shang-Chi.
enter like Ken dunks on his followers? When did this segment start?
I'm not dunking on them. I just
Bro,
wanna
you're
bring up
kind
some
of
these
dunking on him.
No, come on. I mean, we're gonna like it. There we go. Look at that. Where's the fun in Snap anymore? It's not time to quit. Do not
just
quit.
hanging on
This
the
is
rim
just
now.
a joke, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, it is a joke. I know it's an unbalanced patch, but God, I hope the Red Guardian stays. I like that. I hate that. guy.
Yo,
I'm gonna like
dude, we
that
found the
just
one
for
person
you,
who said
Kane.
about Eliath.
Where-
This is the
where
person
is
who
it?
said about Eliath.
Yes.
This is
Look
not
at it, see?
Eliath. No, that person's excited about Eliath, actually.
Three down.
Yeah.
This one also says Eliath. Yes, true. Not
Eliath.
I just freaking pinned for purchase. See that? I feel for
but that
Brian.
I feel,
Brian,
yeah, you got to feel
you.
for that though. It's like, yay, I just got the oh shit. Like that I can understand.
That's messed up. Did they just destroy like over half the odds of tech cards? Yeah, of course they did destroy the tech cards. That's the whole point of it. Killmonger did not deserve that. Destroy is going to suffer so much with this change. Yep, we know this is going to be a wonderful change.
That's the biggest thing I don't like about Destroy. Is about the Killmonger change is L Destroy. I was just starting to enjoy it.
Destroy does take a hit. Shang-Chi might stay the same. Shadow King, I hope, gets reverted, if we all do. Red Guardian is just sad. Already faced 3 clog decks. Post OTA, and I don't think Killmonger will stay. Yes, that's what I forgot about clog. Jeez Louise, this is going to be a problem. This is going to be an issue. Yeah, clog everywhere. Oh my goodness. It is.
I don't know, Merlin exists. Thanks for the 4 drop, I guess.
That's true. You're right. That is true. Merlin does exist. Yeah, people are very happy about the Shang-Chi change, of course. People are definitely sad. People think that, this is bad. Look, this is so bad. Everybody does feel the way. It's awful across the board. Huge W. Nonetheless, I want to talk about this instead of going through our last week's comments, just to show you guys how the community feels about this joke, non-joke of things that may change or stay the same. Nonetheless, we went through all of these. We did give our take on it. And before we go, I just want to say that the meta, minus this OTA, I think was in a perfect place. How do you guys feel? Do you think the meta, anything needed to happen or get shooken up? Besides Mercury, I think Mercury's fine. People felt the way about Mercury. Besides any of that, besides this OTA that just happened, how did you guys feel about the meta going into today?
I was pretty chill with it. No real complaints, honestly. So I think there's a decent chance this does make it worse, if only because all change is bad when it happens to me.
Right. Yeah, this might make the meta horrible. We're going to find out. I guess you've been playing. How do you feel since you've been playing since the meta change? Has it been bananas or just meh? You're definitely talking to yourself right now.
I didn't realize I was muted. Sorry.
Okay.
I think it's going to take a couple of days, honestly, for us to really feel the true effect of these changes. And because it's a little bit of like we're just experimenting. We're in a state of shock. We're not sure how to use some of these new versions. Are they worth it at all to run? People are just like, let the animals run free right now. Just kind of see what happens. We need a couple of days to just let the dust settle for us to figure out what are we no longer scared of playing and how do we now run these new versions of these cards for the next couple of weeks. I think that by Monday, we'll have an idea of this is how Marvel Snap will be for the next 7 days before the next OTA patch, release, all those kind of fun stuff. And then we'll be in a much better rhythm.
Right.
But for the next couple of days, just a friendly reminder, it's a game. Don't be afraid to have fun. Please.
Yeah, listen, to some people...
Actually, be afraid to have fun and direct all complaints to @itsguestgaming on Twitter. If you have a complaint about this game, I think he wants to hear it.
That is correct. He is Mr. Second Dinner Employee of the Year. Mm-hmm. So make sure you guys go ahead and give him all your complaints. It'll be phenomenal if we see that happen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, again, KM Guest, KM Best, and Guest Gaming. KM Best, you can find him everywhere except X. Do not put KM Best in X and bother that poor lady. All right?
Yep.
He's KM Best _ in X, but you can find him everywhere else as
I'm not
KM
that either.
Best. Or what are you on X?
I'm KM Best MS.
Yes, MS.
Also, I'm about to go live.
That's
I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Should I start my stream right now? How much longer do we have in the podcast?
No, go ahead. You start the stream now.
Okay, yeah, I'm literally going to go live. So, and then
All right, guys. Again, go ahead, check out KM Best as he's about to go live. thank you again for coming. Can't wait for the next Golden Gauntlet to have you back on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Thank you again, good sir.
Peace. And I'm Ken, and that's Guess. And we're done for the evening.
What a delayed outro on that. You were going to do a second outro now that he left? Dear God.
I was going to do one for us now. Jeez Louise. I gave him his flowers. He get to go. Then we give ourselves an outro.
Yeah, but he's
it's
not
all right.
here.